guys, how you doing? Good evening, Sunday evening. Is it Sunday? Yeah, I guess it is Sunday. We didn't have house church today, so I'm home. So I thought, well, I'll come on. We've got a couple more days in the weekend, and I wanted to do a Santa project for you. Why is this so off-centered? Let me see. All right, that looks better. All right, so Cory Segrue painted this. This is a print, or it's a printout of a painting that she did. Isn't it gorgeous, y'all? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with this tonight, and I hope I can do it justice. Now, the good news is that I have it in digital format. So, hey, Mary, I want to play with this, and the good news is that if I don't do it the way I want it the first time, I can print it out again and do it a second time. So my thinking is this: I want to put this on a 9x12. Oh shoot! I meant to share this into the group. Can you share this into the group for me, Mary? I meant to do that. I meant to put it into the Artist Lounge Marketplace. I have to stop and think about it. Anyway, I want to put this on a canvas panel, because there's a possibility I may want to put a frame around this, depending on how it turns out. Now, if y'all were with me last night, you know that things didn't turn out well at all. Remember, we did this little guy here, which looks great on the front, but I was using my heat gun, and look what the heat gun did to it. So this ended up being an experiment. I like the way this crackled. I like the way it decoupaged. I liked everything about the front, but we had to use this. We had to use this for the back because this was just a stretch to. It was a learning experience. Let's just put it that way. All right. So first thing that I want to do is I'm going to find my somewhere over the rainbow. I have, where did it go? Where did it go? Here's one. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and take the edges off of this. And I've got my silicone mat down. And I may or I may not do, thanks. It's better. Okay. Super. I may or may not use diamond dust. The verdict is still out on that. I was back in my craft room yesterday, and all right, let me see if I can get this off of here. I'm going to go all the way around and get these edges off of here. It looks much better when you're decoupaging I want to get a straight line here. Looks much better if you feather this than if you cut it. And it just kind of blends into, all right, let me do the back side of this. I think this is rice paper that I used. It's not, oh, there we go. Okay, it's going to come off of there. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this off of this side here. Now, obviously, I could have done all of this before I came online, but at one time, I was new to decoupaging, and so I feel like it's always good to kind of start from the beginning so that if somebody is new, if you are one of those people, then I am doing this just for you so that you can see how easily. We don't want any mishaps today. I had enough mishaps that last me for a while. Anyway, so all I'm doing right now is I'm just taking the edges off of this and so that it can feather. And then we're going to put this on here. And for those of you that are just hopping on, My reasoning behind using the canvas panel is that hopefully if this turns out the way I want it to, I'll be able to maybe put it in a frame or something. All right, so here we go. All I'm doing is just kind of pulling this off. So those of you who are new to decoupage, I know most of y'all are not new to decoupage, but you see how this is feathered? Let's see if I can get it closer. This will blend into the canvas a whole lot better than if I cut this. If I cut this, I'm going to get a really, really sharp edge, and then it's going to be pretty obvious where things start and stop, and so we don't want that. So it just is easy to take a little bit of water. You don't have to have like a water brush. I got my water brush from what do you call it? The Dollar Tree, the $1.25 tree, the $5 tree. It keeps going up. I have, you know, to be honest with y'all, I have so much inventory. All right, this is going to where it's going to get scary, because I'm going to come right across the top of his hat, and we'll see what's going to happen here. I really have not bought much Dollar Tree stuff since they went up to $1.25. If that tells you how much stuff I have in my craft room. So we're gonna, I'm just feathering just a slight edge of the top of this, and I'm just trying to decide. I think I'm gonna extend the paint onto the canvas and see if I can match up the colors. Hopefully I can. But this is a beautiful painting by Cory Segrue. And if you ever get a chance, she is Creative Roots Art is her page name. And to watch her paint is just like, I don't know, it's just like magical to me. All right, so this is what we have. So you see how I've got the edges are all feathered, and I want to make sure that I don't have any white, and I don't. So, and then the other thing that I have been watching is I've been watching everybody use the a fan brush. And I thought, well, I don't want to ruin my fan brush. I don't want it to stay glued together in case all the glue doesn't come out. And so I haven't been using the fan brush. And to be honest with y'all, I tried it for the first time last night. It is a game changer. Hey, there you are. I'm giving you a plug. So Cory and Mary with the Painted Peach, and Cory with Creative Roots Arts. If y'all are watching on replay or come in later, be sure and follow them. They're two very talented artists, and they've got a lot of really good ideas. And I don't know if you heard me say it or not, Cory, but I said that watching you paint is magical for me. I just love to watch you paint. It is like, you know, I can just see the true artist in you, because it's like you just go every which way and then everything just falls into place so beautifully. And it's like, okay, one day I'm going to do that. A while back, I told my son, our younger son, because he just has the sweetest heart for Jesus, and he just loves people. And I told him, I said, one day when I grow up, I want to be like you. And he said, no, you don't, Mom. You want to be like Jesus. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. You're right. All right. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do the wet method or the dry method. I think I'm going to do, I want to use my fan brush again, y'all. And one of the other things, oh, see, it's kind of, oh no, it's okay. It's okay. One of the other things that, oh, what was I going to say? I just lost it. Well, it'll come back. Ooh, that Velcro, that velvet that I used last night. Hold on, I got to get this out of here because it turned this red, and I do not want this to be red, so hold on. Last night I worked with this velvet powder, which was fun to work with. Yeah, it does. All right, and I don't know if y'all can see in there. You see those little red specks? I'm going to just kind of scoop the top of this off of here. And let me get this out of the way so I don't mess it up. I almost need a spoon to just kind of scoop off the top layer of this. I don't want to stir it in there. I stuck my brush in the velvet powder and I stuck it back in the my Mod Podge. Big no-no, but I did it. And so I want to, all right, I'm just going to stir this in here. It's just going to have a red hue to it. Little pink never hurt anybody, right? All right, so there is that. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go, I want to put an edge around all of this. I'm going to make sure that it's lined up. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go for this, y'all. I think it'll be easier to just go for this than to try and keep it in place. And just Mod Podging the whole thing. This is a 9x12 panel. Now, the nice thing about having this as a digital download is that you can make as many different things as you want. And Cory and Mary, correct me if I'm wrong, please. But you can get a copy of this. I don't know, Cory, do you mail these out or do you just give the digital download? It's in the shop for the Artist Lounge Marketplace. And the prints in there are prints in there, or not prints, but yeah, prints from both Mary and also for Cory. So both of them are incredibly talented, so you'll appreciate their work when you see it. All right, here we go. All right, so y'all saw me last night. My ornament that I worked on was melted by my glue gun because I do not, the glue gun that I had was a paint, what do you call it? Paint remover. And it did not have, it has one speed, high and hot. And if y'all didn't see this, this is what the front looks like. I crackled that. And then I melted the back of it. So this was an experiment last night. And you know, sometimes we have those days. Some days we have a project where all it is an experiment. And that was what that one was. All right, so this is quite a bit of paint of Mod Podge on here. I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of this. All right, here we go. I'm going to stick this in my water. I'll pull it back out again when I need it. All right, here we go, y'all. Making sure that I can kind of get this even all the way around. And I think I want to come in here. I don't know if it's my printer setting this off or what, or if this is in the original. I want to come around the edge. And I want to bring in just a little bit more, like a burgundy color, into the hat. All right, here we go, y'all. I'm going to just put this down here. And I'm thinking that, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the edge yet. I've got a couple of thoughts here. I've got a gold trim thought. I've got a paint thought. I've got a paint that and maybe some trim. I haven't complete. All right, so this is what we have. I'm going to dry this. Okay. I love this little guy. Love him, love him, love him. Okay, this is my new heat tool because it started acting wonky on me. So we're going to kind of dry this. This one's not as loud as my other one. Hey, Lisa. Come on in. Good to see you. I really appreciate y'all coming on and joining me. Put this down, put this away. All right, let's see how this works. All right, so far I like my new heat gun. The one that I had last night, it started, hey Justine, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Hi Janet, welcome to my page. I'm Julie. My page name is Nothing is Wasted Designs. If y'all are new to my page, let me know. I appreciate it if you follow me. Alright, so we're going to just get this dry. And then I'm not going to Mod Podge this right away because I really want to come in here with some burgundy. And I really want to do some diamond dust. But I go barefoot all the time, and I can't afford to get any glass in my hand. So I got a big old sheet of paper so that I can maybe keep it all contained and just throw the whole thing away. So we'll see. I'm hoping that the edges and the paper, oh, you know what? I just had a thought. I may need to, I don't want to paint over it yet. I mean, I don't want to Mod Podge it yet. I want to Mod Podge it last. But I may need to all right, y'all, I really like this new heat gun or heat tool or whatever we're given permission to say. Kind of crazy, isn't it? We live in the United States. All right, so I'm trying to find a color that's going to somewhat match what Cory's colors are. And we'll see how well I do, y'all. Feels pretty good. All right, this is a keeper. It comes with, this particular heat tool comes with all kinds of, all right, I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to use it again. But I'm going to put a lid on it so it doesn't dry all out. It's a little bit pink in there, but you won't know it's pink unless you know that velvet powder was in there. All right, moral of the story is pour your Mod Podge into a little container. All right, so here we go. So this is my contribution or my tip to y'all is, you know, all those cardboard boxes that you get in the mail? Cut them up and use them for pallets. I've watched you, Cory, what you do is you just put paint on top of paint, and I like that idea too. All right, so this has got a little bit of a tan. It's called Fawn, but you know what? I'm gonna do this because I need to be able to match this since I'm matching paints. So I'm going to use a throwaway palette tonight. All right, so here we go. Okay, that's got some brown in it. Let me get a palette knife. And let's see which one I want to use. This one looks, this one I might use. All right, and so I'm going to take a white. I think a warm white is what I need, but I don't know, but I happen to have it. So I'm going to mix these. We're going to see where we go, y'all. All right, I just need to see if this is going to do what I need it to do. All right, looks like it's got a little more yellow in it than what I'm working with. So let me grab a little bit of, I've got golden straw and I've got antique gold. Let's see which one I like. This one's lighter. Let me do the golden straw and see. So what I'm trying to do is, let me show y'all. I'm trying to match up Santa's beard in here, and it's kind of a yellowish. It's got a little bit of, looks like yellows and browns, and there's some reds in there. And so what I want to do is I want to bring this to the edge. So let me try this and see what we're going to get. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of this. I do like mixing colors. I'm getting better at it. All right, this is looking better. All right, so this is looking better. All right, when I get kind of the formula, this is pretty good, y'all. This is pretty good. All right, so here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a little bit more so that I make sure that I have the right color here. It's kind of got and I'm going to pull some of this brown, some of this white, and some of this yellow together. And I think I may pull out a sponge. I'm not sure. All right, so why am I going through all of this with y'all? So if you have a surface that you want to use and the paper that you have doesn't go all the way to the end, and we'll see how successful I am when we get to the end here. You can always try and look at your colors and see, do you have reds in there? Do you have yellows in there? What kind of colors do you have? This is looking pretty good. And kind of match it up, and you can do it one by one so that you have a variety of colors in there, which I may do some of that too. All right, it looks like it needs a little bit more yellow. All right, I'm using golden straw, fawn, and a warm white, and all of these are Deco Art. All right, let me get just a little more white, a little more yellow. And I'm just going to stir this up, and I need more white till I get what I want. I'll show y'all. I'll bring it up to the camera in a minute. And it looks like there are some streaks of pink in here. So let me grab just a little bit of pink. Let's see, where is my pink? I think maybe this one. Let's see what we got. That'll work. This is called Pink Blush Pink. I think I'm going to use that. Let me grab, what is this? This is a purple. This is purple. All right. And I want to grab a red. cranberry wine. I think I'm going to use that. All right. So, and then let me grab, I think I want to go with my sponge, y'all. So I think that's what I want to use. So I'm just going to use some sea sponges, just natural sponges. All right. And then when I get to the cranberry, to the hat, I'm going to try and extend that. All right. So I always like to, whenever I'm using these sponges, they start out real stiff. I always like to get it wet. I usually get it wet before I come online, but I forgot to do it. And let me show you what happens. It's like now it's nice and spongy, okay? And so I hope that's not too light. All right, let's see what's going to happen here, y'all. All right, I'm going to use my cardboard. Actually, I'm going to just use a paper towel. And I'm going to use it to offload this. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the side of my sponge. All right, so see this side here? It's got one texture. And then if you flip this over, it's got an entirely different texture. And so I'm going to just kind of rotate this and see, okay, what do I want to get? And I'm going to come in here. I think this is the side I want. And I'm going to offload this just like I would anything else with a brush. And we're going to see where this takes us. Hot dog. Okay, this is going to work. I'm going to show y'all here in a minute. Just trying to bring this to the edge. And I may have to come over this with, another color. All right, let me show y'all what I have. It's not exact, but it's close. It looks closer in person than it does online. All right, so I think I need a little bit more brown in this, but I'm going to go ahead and just go over this. Put a paper towel underneath this. I had a pom-pom. I found my pom-poms the other day, yesterday or the day before, and I went to go look for them, and I couldn't remember where they were. I thought, well, I'm going to remember where these are, but no, I didn't. All right, here we go. I got way more paint than I need, but that's okay because it's better to have too much than not enough. I think I want to add maybe some speckles of some brown in here. And I'm just playing with this as I go along. All right, this one has more white up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this white, put some white on my palette. Can y'all see this? I'm right here. And I'm going to just take a little bit of this and lighten this up a little bit. And then I will probably come over this corner. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. This is kind of just play with it as you go. And I think I need more white. So let me get a little bit more white. A little bit brighter up at the top. All right. I'm going to offload this and see what I get. Okay, that's better. So there's only one person who's going to paint like Cory, and it's going to be Cory. The rest of us, if we're working with a piece that belongs to somebody else, we're going to have to improvise a little bit, and that's what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to take a little bit more and lighten this up some. And then I'm going to paint the hat, but I'm not going to do anything with the hat yet. I'm going to get this side done here. I feel like I want to add some gray in here too. So we'll see. Kind of marble this. All right, this is what I have. This is what I have so far. Looks a little more yellow than I need it to. So let me see if I can find some gray. If I have a light gray. I need to put some of these bins away so that I can see my paint. All right, no gray there. You can always take black. All right. This is a darker gray. I don't want quite this dark, but I'm going to take just a little teeny tiny bit of this. And just a little teeny tiny bit of this. And I want to show you what I mean by teeny tiny. And I'm going to add some light to it. Actually, I'm going to add the gray to the white so that I don't have to use quite as much. All right, let me wipe this off. So I am new to painting. All right, and I'm going to pull a little bit in this. So I'm learning as I go, and so what I like to do is as I learn things, I like to share with other people who, you know, you may be ahead of me, you may be way ahead of me on this journey, and that's cool because you can teach me something on the other end. All right, so I want this a little bit darker. I'm looking at the streaks that she has in here, and it looks like some darker gray. Maybe a little bit more than I thought I was going to need. So Cory, you get to see the how somebody thinks outside of your head to try and match what you've done in real time. That ought to be pretty interesting for you. I would think it would be fun to see. All right, let me see what we're going to do with that. That looks a little bit light still. I'm going to kind of marble this, I think. And just kind of stirring this in here. All right, let's see what's going to happen with this. All right, I do not need any more of the yellows, so I'm okay to go with, all right, let me get this. I'm going to kind of rinse some of this out of here. I've got a jar of water, and I'm going to get just the majority of the paint out of this sponge. Not happy with it yet. Not happy with it, so we'll see what's going to happen here. All right, so let me take... I think I need to really just get a paintbrush out and try and put some streaks in this, but I'm afraid I'm gonna blow it. All right, here we go. All right, let's try this and see what happens. Which side? All right, I'm gonna go with this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing again. And offload this. I'm just using the cardboard to give me something stiff to work with. All right, it needs to be darker. needs to be darker. So y'all can see what I'm doing. All right, let's try that, see what we get this time. Still needs to be darker. Here my nephew, he's in there playing online games with his friends. Maybe this needed to be darker than I thought it did. All right, that looks pretty decent. All right, let's try this. Let's see what we got coming, y'all. All right, that's better. All right, here we go. I'm just going to kind of get some gray along the lines. I'll show you in just a minute. All right, it's toning it down. And it's just a little bright. All right, so this is the first pass. I don't know if y'all can see the gray in there. Okay. All right, and so now what I think I want to do, let me get that corner. I'm taking it all the way up, and I'm going to rinse this out, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to pick up this brown that's called Fawn. Okay, I like this better. It was just too much one color and it looked too yellow. The gray kind really toned this down. All right, so let me get this out of the way. I'm going to dry it and then I'm going to show y'all again what I got here. I'm trying to decide if I should just make this. I'm thinking I probably should just make this the whole frame. So I'm going to, after I dry this, I'll come in and I'll do this red. All right, this is just called thinking on the fly here, because I just have to go with what's happening and change what's not happening. All right, so this is what I have. I don't know if y'all can see this or not, how well you can see the colors. Let me pull you closer, maybe. Okay, you see how I've got the speckles of gray in there? And before, it was really, really bright with the yellow, too much yellow. All right, so the gray is going to tone it down. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this, since it's evenly framed, I'm going to come back into my, whatever this yellow color is. I'm going to come back into this. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, we need to get the red. So let's do his hat. I want to do his hat in this. It's called Cranberry Wine. And it's a pretty close color. So it's not the same, but it is a little bit brighter. All right, so I'm going to take, and right in here, take a little bit of that. So the question is, what kind of brush do I use? Because I know she did not use one color for this. So let's see what I can do. It's kind of fuzzy. All right, let's try this one. All right, let me try this one and see what happens, y'all. Fingers crossed. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way so that I can get over here on this side without sticking my arm in my paint. Oh, yeah. All right, let me show you what I got. All this is doing, you see how it's bringing that out so it's a little bit brighter so that we can see that hat better? So I'm going to take his hat all the way to the corner, even though in the picture I can actually see that it's not all the way to the corner. But we're going to make it be all the way to the corner like it's going off the edge. I'm using a round brush. I have no idea how to tell you what size it is. I have learned that one brush from one brand is not going to be the same size brush in another brand. It's just a round brush. Let's see if I can show you. A round brush. It has a, does it have a number on it? It doesn't even have a number on it. All right, I'm liking this burgundy here, y'all. This was a good choice. My printer, I'm sure that this was supposed to print out more red than it did, but my printer printed it out almost black. So we needed to get his Santa hat on. And I'm trying as best I can not to cover up the edges of where Santa's hair is. And it's going to get real scary here, right here, because I want to make sure that I leave those spots in there. Maybe not. Okay. I'll show you what we got in just a minute. This is kind of looking velvety, y'all, because of the richness of this color. Hadn't planned that, but I kind of like that idea. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. All right, this is what we have so far. You can see that, I don't know if you can see. There you go. That it's just like a deep, rich burgundy. And I'm going to put another coat on this. So let me dry this. All right, let me dry this and then we're going to do another coat on this. This made a world of difference. And then I may have to come back over his hair. Oh, I'm glad I switched to this other glue, this heat tool, y'all. All right, so the $1 million question is, and I'm going to let y'all decide. The $1 million question is, should I extend his hat here, or should I take and bring the border up so that the border is uniform? There's a part of me that wants to extend the hat. What do y'all think? Border or hat? Should we extend the hat or extend the border? Border if you want me to extend the border so that it's uniform. I kind of feel like I should do that because that way it will look kind of like it's being framed. Y'all tell me what you think. All right. Rinsing my sponge out again. I think I'm going to go with the border. All right, here we go. So I'm going to come around here after I do a second coat. Y'all, this is really, really pretty. I did not expect this to be as rich of a red as it is, but it's called cranberry wine. I'm going to definitely need to do something and put like some of his mustache coming into this paint. Okay. It looks pretty velvety, y'all. All right, so this is what we have so far. And then we're going to come in here. We're going to dry this one more time. Now, I did contemplate whether I was going to paint this before or after. I thought, well, I'll probably be better to paint this once it's on the board as opposed to before it's on the board. All right, here we go. All right, coming along. We're going to come in with this lighter. I'm going to do kind of a combination of these. All right, here we go, y'all. Coming around the horn. And then we're going to come in here with some gray. Nah, not sure if that was the right move or not, but it is what it is. All right, and then we're going to come in here with a little bit of brown. And you know what? I think I'm going to take some of this burgundy and do that on top after we're finished. So let me dry this, then we'll do some brown. And then we'll throw some burgundy in it to bring it all together. And then I have an idea for the pom-pom that I couldn't find. I think I'm going to try and make one, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. All right, so I missed just a little tiny spot of this gray. So let me pick that up and come right in here. Okay, I'll rinse that out. I like this burgundy. I didn't realize it was going to be as pretty as it is, but it is. All right, just squeezing the water out of this sponge so it's not too drippy. All right, here we go. Going to dry this one more time, and then we're going to come up around with, I think, see if I have a smaller sponge. I got an idea. I got a little piece right here that's kind of hanging off. I'm just going to pull it off of here. All right, and here we go. So we're going to come in here with this burgundy. All right, here we go, y'all. Let's start where the burgundy is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And we're just going to add a little bit of this in here. Just enough to carry this through. Okay, a little bit more red. I think I want to come back over his hat and clean that up a little bit. Oh, okay. I like that. Except I want to clean that little part of his hat up. So hold on. Let me show you what I have. See if I can pull this closer for y'all. All right, see how this, I want to clean this up here, and so that it looks like it's framed. All right, so here we go. Come in here with our red, and just come down this line. I hope. I may have to do a couple of coats. All right, let me get a little more of this burgundy. Cranberry wine is the color. I think I'm going to need a couple of coats on here. Just making it so that it's framed off. All right, I'm going to do a second coat on this. All right, that looks better. Looks better. And I may have to do one more coat, maybe not, we'll see, along this edge. Okay, let's put that down. We're going to dry it. All right, let's give it another coat up here at the top. And just going along these sides here. To cover up that, okay, we got it. All right, so we got his hat in there. All right, so let me dry it one more time. Okay, we're going to throw that sponge in the water, and then we're going to rinse this one out. And I want to just go over this corner a little bit with a little bit of gray. A little bit of the light and a little bit of gray. I think I want to do this color right here. Just a smidgen. There we go. Not much, just enough to knock off some of that tone that red down a little bit right there on the corner. All right, there we go. Whew, okay, so there we go with that. Let's dry this one last time. All right, so this is what we have so far. We've got his hat now, all nice and rich looking. So the next thing I want to do, all right, one of the things I'm going to do is we're going to put Merry Christmas right across the front of this guy. And so I'm going to wait on that. But, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to make a pom-pom. Not sure how this is going to turn out, but this is going to determine which direction we go next. So I've got some really, really fluffy yarn, and it's what I have, so it's what I'm going to use. Which one of these? Are these the same? They're the same. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take, and we're going to see where this is going to take us, y'all. It may be too big. We will see. All right. All right, let me get a zip tie. I think of these, I think of my father every time I, all right, let's see here. How do I want to do this? Trying to decide how thick I want this to be. I don't want it to be too big. All right, let's try it and see what happens. Let's see what happens. We're going to put a zip tie around the middle of this. Oh, don't let go. You could tie a piece of string around it if you want, but I just wanted this to be secure. We'll see if that's going to happen or not. Okay. We're going to cinch it really, really tightly. It may be too big. If it does. All right, let's get our scissors. And we're going to come in here. And we are going to cut these little guys. I don't know if this is going to work or not. It may not be thick enough. Let's see if we can unravel this. Doesn't look like it. So this is what is going to determine what our next direction is going to be. All right. And it looks awful. Nope. Okay. So, Plan B. Plan B is going to be no pom-pom, because I couldn't find the ones that I have. Put that off to the side. Let me put this in here. Well, shucks. I thought that would be good, but it's not. All right. So Plan B is going to be a toss-up between, I think I want to do Diamond Dust, y'all. I really want to do Diamond Dust. So I'm going to do Diamond Dust. Let me get that out of my way. I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but we'll see. All right, we're done with the paint. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to just tear this off of here and throw it in the trash. And it's easy to clean just like that. All right, so before I put the diamond dust on here, I want to do Merry Christmas on this. All right, I'm going to get this out of the way. There's scissors over here so I can find them. And I'm going to get an ink pad out. And my favorite ink pad is this one. And I'm going to practice before I do the real thing. So let's see what happens. I've got a piece of paper here. And we're going to come in here. I have not used this before. And let's see what we get, y'all. All right, we're going to turn this over and press it down. Because when we do this, okay, I like that. All right, so this is what the font looks like. All right, so let's do it. You get a one-shot deal with this. No second chances. All right, here we go. We're going to put Merry Christmas right here on his beard. Ta-da! All right, look at that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So we got our Merry Christmas on there. I think that the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to clean this off. Clean off our stamp. All right, we got Merry Christmas on here. And so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to all right, that's nice and clean. We're going to get that out of the way because we're done with that. All right, so did y'all see this? Merry Christmas. We got Merry Christmas on there. I like that. We're good. Let me dry it. Make sure it's dry so I don't smear it. All right, so now what I have to do is I'm going to take this big old sheet of paper and I think I'm going to put it in here like this. I'm going to make it a little bit longer because I cannot afford to get glass in my food. I'm going to just take and make it about this big. All right, let's get our stamp out of here. I'm going to turn this sideways. Okay. All right, so here we go, y'all. Gonna put some diamond dust on his hat. I thought I had a smaller thing of it. I don't see that I do. Okay, well, we're gonna go with this one. I thought I had a smaller thing of it, but I don't. Okay. All right, I'm going to have to make sure that I get my trash can down here. All right, let's see how I want to do this. All right, get my brush. And we're going to go in with Santa's beard and his pom-pom. Here we go. So we're going to diamond dust his hat. All right, let's go ahead and do his hat. I'm going to put that in the water just because. All right, I got an idea. I am going to. We're going to do this way. Okay, we're going to put this on. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, let me knock this off. Make sure that it's all knocked off of there. Okay, so we've got the diamond dust on his hat. See if you can, there you go. You see the sparkle? All right, then we're going to take and we're going to put this back in here. Got like double protection here so I don't get glass in my feet, y'all. All right, and then we're going to come back. And we're going to put this on his beard. And his pom-pom. Let's do his mustache. Okay, we've got this and his pom-pom, and then we'll come back and we'll do, all right, here we go. Let me get another sheet of paper underneath here. All right, let's see what we got. I'm gonna do this. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, oh, wow. Okay, so this is what we have so far. See if y'all can see. We got it in his mustache, his hat, his pom-pom. All right, let me put this up here so that you can dump this back in here. All right, and then the last thing we're going to do is down here where his beard is. So, last section. All right, and I am going to go around the Merry Christmas.
No, I think something is broken because this was not the speed that I was stealing my balls.
Trying to decide, oh, let's just go all the way over it and see what happens. Let's see if this ink will hold. Why not? Okay, we're almost there, y'all. All right, the ink held, so that we're good. All right, let's get another run on this. All right, I think we're good. All right, let's see what we got. Let me turn it this way. Wow, I love it. Okay, so this is what we have. You see him sparkling? Cool, cool, cool. All right, let me put this up here. And again, I'm going to be very, y'all, I cannot afford to get this in my feet. All right. Well, we got some falling down here. We can't have that. All right. Okay. So I am going to just knock this off just a little bit more. If anything else falls off, it looks like we got it all. Oh my goodness, y'all. This turned out amazing. I kind of wish I would have done his hat too, but I'm afraid if I do his hat, it's going to be a little bit too much. I know, Lisa. Didn't he turn out cool? All right, let me wrap all of this up and pray that I did not miss any stray pieces. Because I cannot afford to get it in my feet. I can't reach my feet to pick it out if it's there. So, all right, so we're going to put this in here. All right, let me bring him back in here. Wow, 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 wow. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put him on here so that, oh my gosh, y'all. Look at that. Can you see the sparkle on him? So we've got everything in white. I think it turned out good that the pom-pom didn't fit. And then we've got the border. I'm glad I did the border all the way around. Y'all, this is a print of a painting that Cory Segrue did. And if you go to, I'll have to get the link. I'll put it in the comments. And can you see? Look at that. I knew it needed it didn't need it, but I knew that that if I put the diamond dust on that it was just going to take it to a whole new dimension. All right, so let me show y'all. Let me bring it in here. You see it? And it's just a sparkling away. And then we've got, all right, so let me bring it down so you can see. And there we go. And so this is what we have. I do think that it would have been really cool. The pom-poms that I have are kind of like fur. They were really pretty. And I think that the pom-pom on here would have really made another big difference. Okay, so thanks for joining me, y'all. I'm Julie with Nothing Is Wasted Designs. And if, so if you look in the comments, Cory has given a direct link to this print. You can go ahead and click on that, and then you can purchase it. Okay, and you can you can talk to her if you have any questions. All right, y'all, this is what we have. Here comes Santa Claus. Hope y'all have a great night. I love you. Thanks for joining me, and Jesus loves you more. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.